Okay, for this video, we're going to be making the pig's ears. Now, based on what we look at, if we look at a Minecraft pig, they have ears. This would be a good example of one that gives you an idea where we need to create a square, another square, and this one right here. That's what we're looking to create, okay, for our pig. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that up for it. So it looks very similar to this. Now if we look at this, there you go. So what we're going to need to do is, remember this is a 20 by 20. So we want to make sure it kind of fits on that size of head. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. We got our measurements here. Let's go ahead and shrink this down. Obviously we don't want 20. Let's go ahead and do like a 4. And let's go ahead, we don't need to be any thicker than 1. And then let's go ahead and do our height, which is really only needs to be, let's say, about 6. Okay? And that'll give us about that. Now I can see that's a little bit bigger there, so we can go a little bit to 8. There you go. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go ahead and set up our color. We're going to do a variation, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this again and do a custom from this pink and do a little bit more of a darker color here. There you go. So it's just a little bit off. There you go. Okay, now that we got that part, the next thing we need to do is create this section. And that's pretty easy. What we can do is we can actually just copy this. And if we look back at the pig's thing, it looks kind of just about another shape just like this, but a square. So what we can do is we can go ahead and duplicate this. And what I'm going to do is click the duplicate. Now I got 2 of them. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it from this top here 90 degrees. And then move it to where I want, which is about right there. So if we look at this thing, yeah, it's right in the middle, right there. Okay, so now that I got that, I can go ahead and could group this, but I'm not. I almost did, but I'm going to go ahead and take another piece here. I'm going to take this top one sticking up, and I'm going to duplicate that for that other piece that we need to create, which is going to be a little bit darker color. Okay, so let's go ahead and group this now. So I just selected these 2, and I'm going to group them. Now it's all one color. Okay, now for the next part is go ahead and shrink this up. So we notice here we're just going to create one that's half that. So if we notice this is going to be a 2, which is half of that, right? And then we don't need it at 6, we need it halfway, or sorry, 8, we need it as a 4. So we're going to go ahead and make it 4. Okay, now to make it kind of stick out a little bit, so we're going to make it go from a thickness, which is right now a 1. So I'm going to click it and just go 1.1. It's a little thicker. And then let's go ahead and change that color. And so now we're going to just go ahead and darken it. There you go, a little darker. And then let's go ahead and line this up right here. And then what I'm going to do is once I get this part taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and line this up, and let's make sure it's kind of like right there. Oop. So, stay-at-home order, huh? Oh. Doing emergency orders. Interesting. Okay, so now we have that taken care of. Let's go ahead and group it. Let's see what happens here. And let's go ahead and make it multicolor. So now you can see, there we go. That's set up for this ear. Now, the thing is we're going to go ahead and twist this around here. Okay, 90 degrees. And then we're going to make another one. So I'm just going to duplicate this and move this to the other side. There we go. Now, that's all you need to do for your ears there. Now, the distance between them, you're going to want to make them about if this thing is 20, we want to make sure it's 20 away from each other. So that's another thing you can do. And so that distance there, so from this and this, if we go ahead and that you can see as 20.10. So to figure that out, so all I have to do is go like this and change this to 20. Brings them in. And then what we're going to do, and so just real quickly so you understand how I did is I select both of them. I didn't group them, but you can see the distance right here is 20. Okay. Now the thing is, if I were to drag these over here, they want to make sure that they both are kind of fit perfectly around, and they do. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them back. And then we'll just leave them just like that for our ears. And then I'm going to go ahead and group them now. Okay? And that's the last and final thing you need to do. Okay? For the ears. The next part is now we'll be watching is putting it all together. Okay? Thanks for watching.